Peace and love, everybody. What's going on with you? It's brother JudahSon. We put it out there TV, also known as PIOT TV. You already know what it is. Just out here sitting in the automobile on this Friday night. I don't know when I'll publish this video. You might get it the night I'm recording this. You might get it 2 days from now. It just depends on how much time I have, I usually like to prep my videos before I actually publish them to you guys. So if you check out the description of those videos, you can see I prepped them very well, if you ask me. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit about the movie The Birth of a Nation. I don't know if you're familiar with The Birth of a Nation. Was basically a so-called slavery movie. About Nat Turner. Yeah, it was a slavery movie about Nat Turner, if you know about the slave revolt with Nat Turner and things of this nature. And it was showing how Nat Turner was skilled. I believe I'm using the correct name. Forgive me if I'm not. But Nat Turner was a slave who was very learned in the scriptures. At least he was very learned in he was very learned in the access of the scriptures that was given to him. He wasn't given full access to the scriptures. So pretty much he had a slave Bible. But within the access that he had, he was very learned in those scriptures. And he followed those scriptures. He lived by those particular scriptures. You know what? Actually, I'm incorrect. What happened is not that they gave him a slave Bible. It's just that they had him so mentally enslaved that they told him that these are the only books that you are allowed to read out of this particular Bible. That's what it was. And these were during the times of slavery. So they would have it to where Nat Turner, back to the movie, Birth of a Nation, they would have it to where Nat Turner would go throughout the different plantations and he would preach sermons to the other so-called slaves. All right. And I say so-called slaves because when you look at the word slave, you'll see that it comes from Slav. So the actual slaves are the Slavic people. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, so he would go to the other plantations and preach these sermons to the other so-called slaves on the other plantations. And now while he's going through this, right, he's seeing how his people is being treated. He's almost going through a Moses type situation. He's seeing how his people is being treated. He's not liking it. So it causes him to start going into different scriptures in the Bible. And when he starts going into these different scriptures in the Bible, he starts to see that the Most High doesn't look kindly upon men stealing other men and putting them in slavery and selling them whatsoever at all. The Most High does not look kindly upon men coming from other places into another man's territory and removing his landmarks, putting their landmarks there, making them his own. He was seeing how the Most High doesn't look too kindly upon forcing a man to work for free and not paying him for the labor that he has put in. He was seeing how the Most High didn't look kindly upon women being raped and having sex with men against their will. All these things that he was dealing with in his life and his people had been dealing with, he's seen had been normalized. He was made to think that this is the law. This is the way that the Most High has it set up for you. So you go with these rules from this book here, right? And as long as he stayed mentally enslaved, right, complacent with what he was dealing with in his low status in life, and as long as he dealt with those scriptures in the way that the slaveholders, the slave masters, and the so-called white community felt that he should have, which kept them comfortable, there was no issue. They had no problem with him reading that Bible and those scriptures at all. But when he started going into those scriptures and pulling those scriptures out and telling them to their faces about what type of penalties that they're going to be dealing with for enslaving a people and forcing them to work for free, raping women, things of this nature, right? They didn't like that. It started to make them feel uneasy, right? So what did they have to do? They had to create this propaganda amongst the plantations and amongst the rest of these so-called slaves, in order to kind of make him look crazy, to make him look off, right? That's what they had to do. Now take that to now, to the 21st century, right? And you have Moors who've been going along with the law, or what they have alleged to us to be the law, keeping our heads low, staying black, staying Jones, Johnson, Williams, and Smith, carrying on in slavery traditions, right? They had no problem with that whatsoever. But when we start actually digging into the law and seeing that constitutionally these people aren't who they say they are, or they're not following the constitutional law because the Constitution is the law, or they're replacing constitutional law with corporate policies and saying that it's law when it's not, things of this nature, and you're starting to challenge them, then they have places like the Southern Poverty Law Center, and they have places like Chronicle Telegram of Elyria, Ohio. Then they have places like the Morning Journal, and they go back out there to the rest of the sleepyheads, and we'll say the slaves, we'll use this as a proverbial, where the rest of the so-called slaves on the mental plantations out there, the mental slaves, they go out there to the mental slaves on the mental plantations, and they put out propaganda to make it look like the Nat Turners, who are now challenging the colorable authority, they have a problem. There's something wrong with them. They're off. They're anti-government. They're terrorists. They're extremists, right? Those are the times that we are in now. So the movie, The Birth of a Nation, is a perfect example for this situation. It's just as simple as that. And then what I have to tell people, we have to comprehend, a lot of these people who find themselves putting out this propaganda against Moors and all these people who are acting like injured dogs out of a pack of dogs that we threw a stone in and we hit one in the ribs. These are supposed to be Christians, right? But these same people would put Jesus, right? They would put Jesus right back on the cross again first, because he would not come down looking like how they said he looked. That's another lie. You see what I mean? That we've been taught to go along with. That little pale-skinned, blue-eyed guy that's on everybody's wall and in these churches, he wouldn't look like that. So one, they shun him for that. Two, he'd call their asses out like he was calling them out before. He'd call their asses out, and you know what they would do? They would go ahead and cause him to use his own people. They would use their propaganda, and his own people would go against him and have him re-crucified again. So it's the same thing. See, it's not that the Moors are doing anything wrong. And if it is, maybe some of us need to be sat down and further educated. But see, the fact that we are studying these laws and seeing that these people who've been calling themselves law enforcement, or working in the executive branch of government, or the judicial or the legislative branches of government, they are not fucking law. They are not lawfully where they say they are. And if they are in violation of their oath, which is to uphold the supreme law of the land and the treaties. It's just as simple as that. So that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And that's why we have these cowards that create these YouTube channels that have no content on it whatsoever at all. No liked videos, no nothing at all. But they come to our videos and they say the sucker bitch ass shit that they say. This is the reason why these cowards at the Southern Poverty Law Center write the documents, or the yellow journalism that they write on their website, when they have no authority lawfully to speak on the Moors whatsoever, because it's an organization full of traitor, cowardice ass lawyers who are in violation of their oath to uphold the supreme law of the land. It's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. Y'all have yourselves a good night. Enjoy your evening. Make sure that you be aware of your surroundings 360 degrees. and poke a hater in the eye with this knowledge out here. Poke a hater in their mouth as soon as they open. Poke a dog in his mouth as soon as they open it up with this truth right here. Because these people, they want you to stay black. They want you to stay asleep. They are your enemies. It's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. I really don't know what else to say. So there's nothing else that I can say to branch it, to, you know, bundle it up to make it sound friendly and sweet and things of this nature. Because like I said, these same people would kill Jesus. And he was supposed to be all about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. But when he has so much love and is telling people truth, and this truth is bringing people peace, and the peace is causing them to seek justice, it's a problem. And you got to deal with Shaitan and Satan and the devil and all his little cowardice minions that come out. It is what it is. I'm ready for y'all. I got my own media. Put it out there, TV. Y'all make sure y'all go and subscribe to this channel. Like, share. The haters can comment too, because you know, the algorithms love it. It's gonna make it to where it get out there. But make sure y'all go and register for an account at Put It Out There TV. PutItOutThereTV.com/register. Link is in the description and or the comments. And make sure you check out any of the other links that may be in the description of this video if you so choose. Appreciate y'all allowing me to rock with you. I apologize for it being dark. I'm chilling in this automobile, but I'm up out of here. It's your brother JudahSon. Peace and love, one.